a nice older gentleman bring me in an old bike seat to have it reupholstered. He was having trouble finding anyone that would do this, and I thought, well, you know, it looks like an interesting little project. I don't typically work with this type of stuff because I don't, you know, it's metal, and I don't really have probably the types of padding and things that the companies that upholster these would have. But I think I'm going to try to do it with, you know, with what I've got, and see how it comes out. Just be an interesting little project. So I thought I'd just share it with y'all, and just, you know, for the heck of it, and see how it goes. I'm going to put a first layer of this dense carpet pad on, just because you can't really pad up these seats very thick, and I want it to be something that tries to keep you from, you know, smashing into the metal as much as possible. So using a high density, about a 1/2 inch carpet pad helps with that. And I can glue it on here real good, and that'll be a good. Okay, here we have that first layer on. It's glued on pretty good to the form of it. Now I'm going to go with what's called a 1/2 inch poly. It's just a pretty soft piece, but it's smooth, and it's mainly just to provide just a little bit of softness, and also kind of smooth out, because these type of carpet pads are not real smooth. case anyone's going to try to do this themselves, I just want you to know I'm kind of focusing the glue mainly in this area here in the center where it needs to be held down. And on this, I'm focusing it in here also, but staying away from these edges because I'll glue them later when I go underneath. I'm going to let a little time pass so that this can kind of dry pretty good before we start putting any pressure on pulling it. This is probably not the most preferred glue for gluing to metal. They have some that are finer mist and everything. I just don't have any on hand. And I think that this will probably get the job done for what I need to do, because then this will go back on and bolt down, and then that should kind of help hold that underneath there instead of it just relying merely on the glue. If you were doing this working with a vinyl, you can get a heat gun and kind of soften the vinyl to make it more pliable. This is a leather, so, and I don't want to dry out the leather in it, and it's usually pretty pliable anyway, so I'm not going to need to heat it. But in many cases I would have heated this leather so that, this in a vinyl, I would, heat it a little bit so it'll make it a little more pliable. Here we have a little seat. Hopefully it'll hold up for him. See, I was cutting some of the bulk out from underneath there before I put it back together. At this point you can still kind of try to work it around a little bit. There we have it, all back together. A bad looking little seat. You ought to like sitting on that a lot better. And just because I'm not a professional at these things, I'm not charging him for this.